Hey, welcome to Talking Texas Politics with Calvin. We're going to talk a little bit about today about school choice. There's currently a bill, Senate Bill 2, that was passed by the Senate that has went over to the House. But there's a lot of energy around this right now, so I'm anticipating something passing this session. Unfortunately, whenever the government gets involved in things, they generally don't make things more effective and more efficient. Generally, things go downhill. So I have kind of a general opinion that once the government gets involved in things, you can say something to the effect of, "You think our problems are bad? Just wait till you see our solutions." And I'm afraid that Senate Bill 2 or just kind of school choice in general, this session is going to be that scenario where we're going to end up with something much worse than what we actually have right now. So the Senate Bill 2 actually it creates a different, basically another branch of government or another section of government. It has some requirements uh, for testing, um, exams, and it also requires that the schools who receive this funding, you can only go to accredited schools, and then with the homeschool, it's offering a smaller stipend, but you have to use certified curriculum. And the details on that is very, very slim. So one of my big concerns is that homeschool is actually working. So in just about every statistical category, homeschool kids are far superior than public school kids in just about every academic measurement. And so what's going on in homeschool is working. Um, and I'm afraid that if the government gets involved with it, they're just simply going to mess it up, and they're going to take it down the same path that they've taken public schools. And so that bothers me. So I don't want them really messing with the homeschool. I hate to see them messing with something that's actually working. So the argument for this is situations where you have someone going to a public school and there's accusations of abuse or something like that. And a lot of times when that sort of stuff happens, the public school actually stonewalls the parents, probably at the advice of their attorneys, and the parents are unable to really get any information, and they're also unable to move their kids to another school district. And honestly, they should have the right to do that. You should be able to take your kids to a different school district if the school district you're in isn't working for you. So I'm not opposed to the theory of school choice. I really support the theory of school choice. But when under the current situation, this really isn't school choice. Now, during the last primary, there was actually a section on the ballot that talked about supporting school choice, and it was overwhelmingly supported by Republicans across the state of Texas, something like 80 to 90% approval. However, it had some specific things in there, and it had things like the money follows the child, those sort of stipulations. That's not what is in Senate Bill 2, and I'm doubtful that that's what is going to end up passing this session. So, what is going to ultimately end up passing is something that's going to cost an additional $1 billion. That's billion with a B to the taxpayers, because both the Senate and the House have allotted $1 billion out of the budget to this cause. And so this essentially is just going to be a large giveaway, and it certainly reeks of cronyism because of the certification process for both curriculum and for schools. So this could be a payoff. This could be the Texas version of U.S. aid, where you're giving away money to, taking taxpayer dollars and giving them away to these different organizations, versus just, why not just give it back to the citizens? If we overpaid our taxes by $24 billion, shouldn't we get $24 billion back? But they won't do that. They're trying to figure out ways to spend it. That $1 billion is burning a hole in their pocket, and they're wanting to spend it on this. So this is not what the voters supported as far as school choice goes. This is something much more expensive, and the money doesn't follow the child. So you're creating an additional branch of government, and you are costing the taxpayers an additional $1 billion for this. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to support this. I hope that they would just completely leave homeschool out of this. Certainly, if there's any homeschool relevance, there needs to be very clear and concise and explicit um, exemption processes that would have no strings attached to any sort of funding. And so, and under its current situation, it's just not there. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the current Senate Bill 2. Without some major amendments, this is going to be nothing more than what we're complaining about is going on in Washington, D.C. right now. So anyways, appreciate you. Thank you very much for tuning in. God bless you, and God bless Texas.